Oh, hello everyone outside in Instagram world. This is episode 15 coming at you on April 19th, 2018 here in South Beach, Miami, out of First Surf Shop. We welcome you. To my right, I've got one Brandon Valverde.
One Brandon.
Hello, everybody.
Just one.
Just one. The
Thankfully.
only one. The best one.
And on my left, I've got one Jovann Lopez. I'm Christian de la Iglesia from First Surf Shop and Division as these guys as well. We are missing one key factor this week. You might be wondering why I've got this video up behind me. Well, we have Mr. Bradley Wells out in Costa Rica, Pavones, surfing his brains off right now. And we hopefully will be able to log him in, get a surf report on what's going on down there, maybe a little surf report on what's going on here.
The dream.
God, seriously, living the dream. I mean,
dream.
It's good stuff. And past that, we're here. Thank You Surfing. Please follow us on Instagram at ThankYouSurfing, as well as this will be on YouTube. Look for it under Thank You Surfing, and all the paraphernalia that you need, from mugs to cups to anything else of Thank You Surfing, you can find on their website at ThankYouSurfing.com. We are going to just, you know what, we're going to pull the gloves off. We're going to go into this. I got some newbies here. I'm leading the charge, which is a little new. I usually let Bradley kind of lead it, and I kind of just chime in every once in a while. So,
True.
You know, let's see how this thing works.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
So, Brandon, Jovann, take over. I'm done. See you later.
Yeah.
We're like the test dummies
Yeah.
here. Like, this is a test run. 1, 2.
Well, normally how this thing works, we go into local happenings, what's going on for the next couple days into the next week. If you guys have something going, you let us know. And then we kind of go into weather, discuss what is coming up here, what has been around, and what potentially might come around. Bradley, where are you?
Come on, bro.
And then past that, we go into subjects. And today's subject, which we didn't post earlier, was kind of working retail in general, and more importantly, surf retail, which is kind of what we do. It's more than just a surf shop. At this point, there's a little bit more involved that just kind of takes it to that next level. And it's such an interesting dynamic of the people that work there, to the things that need to get done, and what maybe some people interpret or understand what surf shops are about and what they really are about. So let's go and talk into local happenings. This week, this Saturday, we have Earth Day coming up. And it is the Earth birthday. Don't ask me how old we are, because I wouldn't even figure that part.
Earth.
But nonetheless, on Earth Day, there are a lot of cleanups going on, which is rightfully so. And thankfully, we have such great groups like Debris Free, Surf Rider Foundation, and any cleanup.org that just really do their due diligence every week, every day, and and really just make Earth Day all the time than it is just one day out of the year. But this Saturday is Earth Day. There's a couple things going on. I know Underwater Unlimited has a little bit of a beach cleanup coming on, and we're going to go to God offset right here.
7:30 a.m.
7:30 a.m.
South
to 10:30 a.m. South Beach. Should we get a little more specific since we are so wide?
You can get in the water if you have dive gear. There's gonna be people cruising the reef looking for trash on the bottom.
We're in
Or,
South Beach, though.
Where's everyone meet up?
First
First
Street?
Street. So First Street, Saturday at
7:30 a.m.
7:30 a.m. If you've got some gear and you want to go ahead and do some cleanup underwater, are you guys doing it underwater as well as on shore?
Yes.
Okay, so both onshore and underwater. Underwater Limited is doing something on Saturday,
That's awesome.
starting at, again,
7:30.
7:30 in the morning.
7:30 a.m.
Meet up at First Street on the beach. If you've got some gear, join them. If not, they've got some gear for you on the beach to be able to help clean up.
You have no excuse. There's no traffic in the morning on Saturdays.
You know what? If you can't even make that, and or this next one that I'm going to come up with, pick up trash around your neighborhood. I mean, walk around and you got something, you see something, pick it up. I mean, it's the best way to do it. But aside that, Surf Riders got a cleanup in Wynwood that'll be starting off at the Wynwood Yard. I believe that's around noon. Definitely check out the Surf Rider South Florida website and for a little bit more information. But what they're doing is pretty much a pub crawl as well as a cleanup in the area, starting off at the Wynwood Yard. And I believe that starts off at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but they've got some cool games and events going on at Wynwood that day, celebrating Earth Day all day. So definitely go check that out. Great food, great activities. And then from there, They'll be cleaning up parts of Wynwood. They'll actually be stopping at Division Wynwood for a little Q&A and kind of conversation, some beverages, and then they'll be taking it over to Concrete Brewery, and then they've got another spot altogether, so that should be fun. Past that, do you guys have anything personal coming up, or? I mean, I know you're a
This guy
DJ.
does.
You're always kind
Yeah,
of
This
playing
guy
music
does,
kind
around.
of
I'm
busy
sure.
this weekend. Pretty busy. Tomorrow I
always
have an event for medical and marijuana business that's opening up in Wynwood.
No way.
And I'll be DJing out there from
Where's that
like
at?
that's gonna
Do tell.
be. I'll tell you right now. It's 26th Street.
That's where we're at, 26th Street in Wynwood.
2607 North Miami Ave.
2607 North Miami Ave. Tomorrow, what time's the party start?
It starts, I think, at 1 o'clock. They're gonna be having barbecue and some drinks, and
Food and
then it's gonna be
drinks?
till like I think 9 o'clock.
Pretty
Perfect.
cool.
So just gonna hang out there, play some old school tunes and a little open format, a little shim sham,
Nice.
Shim, a little shimmy and a little shammy.
a little shim sham.
It don't hurt nobody.
That's
Aside that, summer's kind of upon us at this point.
Yep.
And, here at the shop, we're looking to try to do a couple different things. One of them being surf movies every Friday night here. They could be old ones like North Shore, and we can kind of revisit a bunch of old videos from Kelly Slater's Black and White to maybe some of the Momentum videos, since that's been getting a lot of play nowadays. And just kind of cool things to kind of hang out. It's the summer. It's kind of meant for
time.
locals to kind of cruise around, hang out, have a couple beers, talk a little story, figure out what your next surf trip's going to be, because you're going to need it. Seriously. From local happenings, we usually jump into forecast, weather, and everything else. God, we wish that Bradley was around to give us a little something, but
Answer the phone, bro.
it's a good thing we still got Surfline. Surfline,
okay.
we're giving you a little plug.
It's okay.
Not much going on for the next couple days. Looks like winds kind of pick up Saturday afternoon.
A little small little burst.
We got a little southeast wind swell cruising through Sunday through the next couple days, I think into Tuesday, Wednesday. I believe might be Tuesday. So, a little waist high, 2-foot slappers out there, something to kind of get wet. And at this point, coming this close to summer,
Something to feed all the fiends in South Beach for the waves.
I mean, some of us start to look to traveling at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, some of us already have plans kind of set for traveling. Some of us are traveling to the other side of the world, going to Bali on a surf trip for a month. I wonder who that might be.
Who's that?
For the first time. Yeah, I'm super pumped on that.
Wait, but aside that, I mean, and you know what? We'll kind of go into that in 1 second.
Yeah.
Just to give you guys a little bit of background on who Jovann and Brandon are. They're employees of First Surf Shop, but they've also been guys that have grown up here, both surfing South Beach as well as the Holliver Harbor House area that's a little north of us, and from Groms all the way till now. And we're stoked to have them on board. Because I think that you guys have been an integral part of the process here at the shop, as well as being, working at a surf shop is tough. Like, you kind of have to have a little local in you,
Yeah.
so that the locals here can kind of respect and give you some love. And
It makes it easier to know at least a couple people.
right.
For sure.
It gives you a
sure.
couple waves as well. But Pat, we'll dive into all that relatively
I don't
soon.
think that gives you waves.
The way you surf gives you waves, or the hustle. We'll dive into all of that in just a few minutes. But aside that, tell us about Bali. Now, this is your first trip out of the country?
I've never
Dum,
left the
dum,
country.
dum.
Never left the
I
country.
literally just got my passport in the mail for the first time ever.
How old are you?
3 weeks ago. I'm 20 years old.
20 years old, never left the country, which is something that probably a lot of people have done. Most people go somewhere easy and quick, like, I don't know, Central America. But, let's just go straight to Bali.
Look,
One of the Meccas.
it's been a long time coming. I feel like I should have taken a surf trip when I was like 15 years old to
Sure.
at least Costa or like
that's good, that's
Rica
good.
or something like that. But I figured I'm 20 years old and I got friends that want to go to Bali for the whole
Is that
month,
how that came
so-
around? Was
yeah.
it a couple friends pitched it, put
well,
it together?
I thought about the idea actually myself back like in December. I had a conversation with somebody here in the shop actually, and it immediately sparked my interest to go ahead and plan a trip.
The
And I
shop.
called up my friend, and it just so happened to be that as soon as I called him about it, he was like, "Well, I have a trip already planned for Bali for a whole month with this group of people, and we actually need one more person." So
So is this a group package kind of thing where like
Eight
you pay
of
X
us.
amount of dollars and it like takes you to this spot, you stay here, you get
It's a
this
group.
food?
It's a group of 8 of us, and luckily one of the guys on the trip has a girlfriend who's coming also with us. She's the only girl, so she kind of like set up all the spots for us to go and surf. And all
Okay,
the
so
places
it's not
for us to
necessarily
stay.
a package where it's
Not
a tour,
really. No,
tour
no,
group,
it's not
stuff
like a
that.
tour. It's not
So
like
you're
a tour
saying
deal
a
that you can go
girl
and buy.
set it all up? A girl set up your package?
A
Which
girl
is-
who's
A
very,
girl is
very,
saying where you're
very
gonna go surf.
well-versed
Nothing
on
against
surfing.
girls here, but just saying, does she surf?
A little bit, but she's
Okay.
well versed enough in the surfing
So-
world.
So it sounds like it's going to be an adventure.
Okay,
Oh, for sure, for sure. No, look, it made it a lot.
Hopefully she knows where you guys want to surf.
Of
and-
course, she's got a boyfriend who surfs, so he's not gonna let her,
right,
you know.
Right, so your eyes aren't going to get straight away.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So
okay,
it just
okay.
worked out really well that they had already. Everyone bought their ticket, and I
Killer.
was the last one to kind of just.
Expensive?
I got really lucky. I didn't have to pay that much.
Okay.
I paid under $700 for my round trip,
That's
actually,
very-
for a whole month.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And there are people that hate you right now, so you're probably
for
getting
sure.
hate mail.
Yeah, I might be.
And they probably signed up.
Yeah.
There's probably 0 people on right now. And I don't know if there's 0 people, so please don't take offense because I can't see it from here, and I'd love to answer some things.
8
But
people?
we got, yeah, you know what? That's more than Bradley and I've ever gotten before, just the 2 of us. So you guys are paying off already. Nonetheless, you guys are in. Next
do
week.
it.
Just kidding.
No.
They're done. More beer. Well, that kind of sounds unreal. A month.
I'm still in disbelief that I'm going. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
has
you're
there been
coming back,
anything-
really.
Has there been anything that you've done to kind of prepare for that?
Well, in the past couple weeks, I've been running and training again for the much bigger waves that I'm going to be surfing, real waves that I'm going to be surfing. Swimming, paddling, running, the whole mix is just trying to get my physical.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Eat right too. I mean, eating.
That's a big part of it. Yeah.
Always eating percent is always going to be 80%.
Eating
of it.
enough. Eating
Yeah.
enough is.
Well, you're growing. So you're like a
Yeah,
monster.
exactly.
These guys keep eating, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'll just stay skinny. I'll just keep eating all
Brandon's
this
been
crap.
like that since he's like
And it's just
17.
like, oh,
He's
I'm-
been the same size.
Yeah, but he's 20.
I
I'm
know.
42, and I
At
keep thinking like
17,
that,
he
like,
looked
hey,
the
I'm just going to
same.
eat all this crap, and I'll be fine. And then all of a sudden I look at the mirror, I'm like, dude, you are so far not from fine. Wake up. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, you mean I'm not 20 again?
Even though I'm 20, you know, if I eat like crap, I'll feel it eventually.
Yeah,
Quick,
no, it's
quick.
true. So it's kind of
You
important to
act
stay on top of
old.
it.
You have an old soul. That's what it is.
So I've heard.
Well, you know, so there you go. There you have it. Let's go and segue into tonight's kind of main feature for the most part, or at least why I have you here, is to talk about just retail as a job. More importantly, surf retail as a job. I know neither of you have had retail experience for the most part, except for you,
Had
right?
some old when I was 17 years old.
17, where'd you work?
Cheesy. It's really cheesy.
Let's hear it.
It's really cheesy.
I want to hear
Just
it.
say it, bro. Come
Let's
on.
go. It's
I
good
worked
content.
at
It's good
Hollister
TV.
in,
They want it.
Hollister.
Hollister.
Yeah.
Where?
It was
Aventura?
where's that? Where's the mall next to Dolphin?
Sawgrass. Oh,
I forgot already.
Florida Mall? No,
one
that's in Orlando.
It's right next to Dolphin Mall.
I don't go
Dayland?
there.
No.
That they have like
America,
that.
Mall Americas? No.
No, that's the other
Yeah.
one. No.
Samsonite. I was way off. Okay,
I
so
don't-
that
wait,
mall.
here's the,
is
wait,
that
here's the
Hollister?
piercing question. Here's the
Is
piercing
it,
question, though. Were you the shirtless guy
No.
standing
So gonna
outside
ask
of the
that.
front
No,
door?
No, I definitely
Okay,
didn't do that.
alright,
I mean, I
alright.
did stand out there maybe once or twice, but I had an A in my register, so I was, you know,
What,
17
what does
years
that
old.
mean? Was an A in the register
A in the
mean?
register. I was perfect. I was like the perfect.
They graded registers.
They graded it. I was an A.
Impressive. Well, you know, that is impressive. But, you know, I come from a little bit of retail background. It was Quicksilver
It
Retail,
was the
which
only
which,
A I've ever gotten. Really.
which
The only I've ever gotten.
I had to wait to work for Hollister to get that A.
Oh my god.
Hey, listen, accomplishments, they happen
think it was
in
the hair at the
small
time.
ways.
Uh-huh.
It swooped forward, like, you know.
Oh, it wasn't
The
as long as
Justin
it is
Bieber?
now?
I was the Ashton
It was the
Kutcher
Bieber
kinda-
cut.
Oh, yes, is that? I don't
my
ever
God.
get that. Like the whole pull
schwab.
your hair forward
It was
and pull
actually
it to the
I
side. look.
blow dry it.
Yeah,
side like that.
I believe you.
And then you stay out. Hey,
I don't know if he's gonna work here much longer.
yeah.
I honestly don't.
It was a phase. I'm just saying.
I'm hoping it was just a phase. I'm so much. I'm glad that you're here so much longer.
I was into skimboarding at the time too.
Punch me now. That's fine. I like skimmers. But aside that, if most people don't know, Hollister is a company that's owned by Abercrombie, and the whole point of Hollister was on a full fabrication of a story of some mythical person in a log cabin in Northern California, and that's kind of where the premise was coming. It's like this guy that lives in a cabin in the forest next to the ocean in Northern California, and he's burly, and he's probably like 8 feet tall, and
What?
stuff like that.
Burly?
And, no, that's where they came from, and that's kind of like the look that they were selling, and having hot chiseled guys like you with wispy hair apparently
Whoa.
sold that.
Chris,
They just sprayed you with something. But it was always interesting
Chiseled.
because
I'm just skinny.
the whole retail concept is in the details of things, right? The store in itself and what we do here and everything else, it's to sell you an emotion, a feeling, to kind of gravitate towards something to say, hey, when I wear this shirt, when I wear these shorts,
It's the
it makes
vibe.
me feel like I'm that burly guy in Northern California that's chopping wood and about to go surf with
I think
a
I
bunch
was
of
the
great
only
whites.
person that surfed there, though.
You probably were.
Yeah.
There's no probably. You probably
And
were.
I saw so much.
I
was
wouldn't
like,
doubt
oh,
it.
no.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And it's funny because talking to people there, I would understand that some of the things that they would teach people is that and it's so counter to what we do here. It's here we're all about engaging with people, talking this and that. Over there is just like don't engage.
No.
Don't at least from what I spoke to people back in the day, it was just like, especially for the shirtless guy. If you were the shirtless guy, it was like you're really ignoring. It was about ignoring.
What's going on?
And it's just like I'm too hot to even talk.
Is there a beach over there?
I think I'm too hot to even talk to myself, and that's kind of the look, and that was kind of the thing that went for a while, and that's what sold for them. I never understood
robot.
it.
Don't
It's like,
talk to
right, yeah, it's just like I'm gonna ignore you. Sweet, let me get 2 shirts, a pant, and let me just drop $300 for no reason. But it worked for them for a little while. It hit Middle America. Hadn't worked for them for a little while afterwards as everyone got hit. But
Yeah, they're quiet right now.
there is that. There is
Super.
that like bought version of the surf feeling of what it is that we live, we feel, we do, and it's
Every
interesting.
time
like,
I
I just
see
ripped my
someone,
pants,
every
but,
time
you
I
know,
see something with
when I do rip my
surf-related
pants, it's
things,
because I ripped them,
Right.
not just because
Because
I bought
it's
them.
stylish.
Ripped, you know?
Right. It's not a stylish
Nothing against
rip.
ripped pants.
Right.
Can't say anything nowadays.
Or when you say something, you got to apologize and go the opposite
Yeah, I'm
direction.
sorry about ripped jeans, guys.
Listen, nobody knows your Instagram handles. No one's going to be yelling at you. You're fine. Although, if they come in here looking for you, he works on Mondays, Tuesdays.
oh my god, that's me.
But, okay, so you had Hollister experience as retail. How long did you work there?
About a year. Then I worked at Birdine's as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What?
That was Birdine's was actually my first job. I was like, what, 16?
So,
15? 15, 16.
were there things that you liked and didn't like about the job?
Well, Birdine's was kind of weird. That was like the weirdest one, which is my first job ever.
Okay, well, let's go into Hollister,
Oh,
where you kind of had a
oh.
little experience.
Okay,
And you were shirtless. And was that one of your pros? Of your pros and cons?
I definitely didn't have to be shirtless. you know,
Okay.
you know.
Okay, so
I'm sure
he
people were
was
thinking-
not the
I
shirtless
just wanted
guy.
to be, so I just
to
hung
be
out
clear,
shirtless.
he was not
Even
the
though,
shirtless guy.
You know, I didn't pump iron or
Right.
anything, you know?
That's good.
So,
No one.
whatever. Just,
I don't either.
that's it.
I don't know if you guys could tell.
just wake
I don't
up.
pump either.
Just surf. That's it.
Okay.
Whenever there's waves.
Did they give you that at least and say, hey, there's surf, you can go
They
surf?
gave me the Huntington Beach cam live on a screen. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit, nice. This is great.
I will give you that. I will give you that, Hollister. That was probably the only cool thing that you
I
guys
was
had.
like, yeah, I'm like 16. I'm looking at a live stream of like Huntington Beach on a screen. What is this? Wait, do I got a playlist on this thing too? I think that at that time it was
Right.
like yellow card. Like,
Yeah,
Yellow card.
Ocean Avenue, baby.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's a
What is that?
band, old school band. That's more his generation, but I like 4 songs from them maybe.
I love when younger people are like, yeah, his generation.
Mars Volta was big too at that time.
Mars Volta.
That would
Love
pump
them.
in the store.
Yeah.
You know?
Really?
Yeah. Back
I
in the
could
day.
see that. Huh, interesting.
Well,
So, I mean, you work there, you work here now. Any similarities, any major differences?
yeah, both.
Besides we're cool. I
Exactly.
mean, that's a big difference.
I mean,
That-
you can't have uncool guys in a
It's just
surf
it
shop.
was a typical, you know, company. You know, this
Right.
is not a typical. This is like a homegrown kind of like you come in here and you feel like you're welcome. Like
Yeah.
you're like, yo, what's good? What do you need help in? Like, and we try to find. We use all of our, how do you say it? All of our past kind of experiences
Right.
to kind of like
Our tools.
answer your question. It's simple actually, but at the same time, it's kind of like you have to have had some of that experience. I feel
Yeah, you've had to have lived it a little bit yourself.
Well, I find in being in positions where you're in front of people and you're kind of helping people out, hospitality or whether it's retail or any sort of service-driven job, you know, it's you kind of like a concierge a little bit. Like you kind of want, you know, we always talk about experience it like a local, you know, and locals, if you've lived in a certain area for a long time, is kind of what people are coming to.
Yeah.
And sometimes you make a person's experience or you know, that much better by being able to like, you guys are here, where are you guys from? Absolutely. What are you guys are doing? You know what? This and this and this is going on.
Yo,
you should
go
check this
here,
out.
go here,
This
go
and
here.
that, you know, and people appreciate that.
Yep.
And I've always felt that that's why people will come back to us or will always swing by and check in, whether you're, you know, local or you're a tourist, because it's just they're looking to see what sort of stuff is happening.
And I've had
100%.
multiple people come into the shop say, "Oh my God, I was here a couple years ago, and we needed to come back. We loved it so much, and oh my God, it's changed so much." Multiple customers like that too.
So you don't come from a retail background.
Not at all.
I mean, how many jobs have you had before this one? Being that you're 20.
Say
By the time I was out of 15 jobs.
I want to say like 6 or something like
Okay,
that, around
okay.
6.
Not
I don't
bad.
want to. It's gonna take me too long to actually think about it and
I
count
know.
right now.
That
but
selling
that's a good-
lemonade
yeah.
when you were 4 does not
That
count.
does not count. No, when I didn't even sell lemonade when I was
So I
4.
don't know if I'm concerned because there's such a high turnover of you, where it's just like, oh my God, did I hire the right guy if he's been having that many jobs and he's, I don't know.
Oh, man, you
Versus
don't want
if
me
he would
to
have been
say-
like,
But
I've only had one job, it was 4 years. I'm like,
I was never
scored.
No.
Got a
No,
good
no.
guy.
No, I was never fired. I left because my bosses weren't as amazing as you, bro.
Oh. Yeah.
No, but seriously,
No
I
raises were involved in this
could-
situation.
You could just pucker up those 2 lips and.
No, I really hated all my past jobs, to be honest. And to be 100% real, if I worked any other retail job, it wouldn't be the same. I'm surrounded by the stuff that I love, so
Right.
it's really easy to be around it all the time.
Right.
And,
And we hear things that people say where they're like, you know, do what you love or work at what you love and you
Yeah.
never work a day in your life. You know, I'd like to think whether it was, you know, here or even my past before with working with Quicksilver, you know, I worked with teams that were like, we all felt that way. Like it was one of those things where if 80 boxes had come into Quicksilver and you weren't on shift that day, but you stopped by to say what's up and you see the crew in the weeds and trying to process and stuff, you dropped your bag and you just jumped at it. You
Yeah.
kind of did it, and everybody kind of did that for each other,
Wow.
whether you were getting paid or not. And that really kind of is just a testament to the love that teams have to each other, you know? And hopefully we're kind of creating some sort of
I feel
Team
that
atmosphere.
I think we've already got that part down. I think we do.
I think we're
I
pretty
feel we
cruise.
do, for sure.
We're pretty cruise.
What's probably been the hardest part about adapting into this new role of retail or surf retail? Folding.
Folding the bikinis and all the female stuff.
Nah,
Ladies and
bikinis are easy.
gentlemen, the folding board.
This thing is a god.
No, you
This
can't.
thing
And this was
here-
actually stolen from the Quicksilver store we used to have here.
This is a
Bob
relic.
McKnight, I'm sorry.
This
Thank
is a
you,
relic.
Quicksilver.
Not really that sorry because I paid my dues.
No.
Oh. It has its chips on there, like how much has
This
it
thing
been?
has been through a
Like,
lot.
bro,
you
this
can
thing
tell.
has been through
I was
hell,
wondering
dude.
the
Like, look at
same
each
thing.
corner.
Every time I'm sitting here
It's like
folding, I'm
somebody
thinking
gnawed
about
on
that.
the corner, like a little beaver.
It's possible. I mean, things get
Oh
crazy
my
around here
God.
sometimes, but yeah. But you know, nonetheless, it's. Are there bad points to the job? I mean, like when there's waves, that's gotta suck a
That's
little
the
bit.
worst thing.
Nah, nah,
I
not
would
really.
say no.
I'm chilling.
I would say that of all like small little like annoying things that happen, is if the waves are even just half decent and I can't go out and I have
Yeah,
to
but
be
that's why you have
so
me.
close to the water.
Right.
But then that's why I have Jovann,
Rakata.
you know?
Well, we have a thing here on the team that when there are waves and you know there's decent waves, whoever's here working
Yeah.
usually gets a little relief for at least an hour. You know, granted, if your shift is that day, you either get to surf beforehand or now, thank God that we
Yeah.
have a little bit later time, you
Oh,
get to
yeah.
surf afterwards. But you'll get at least 1 hour break during the day from either one of us, whether it's one of the owners or someone like Jovann that comes
Rad.
in and lets you kind of just ride out there and stuff like that. So, you know, it has its
No, it's
moments,
epic.
but
It's epic. When
You gotta
it all
hear
works
people,
out, it's epic.
You got to hear people come in and out of the shop all day talking about how
That
fun
gets me
the waves
stoked.
are.
That gets me
Yeah.
stoked though when
You
somebody
know?
comes in.
That's
and
true.
like, "Yo,
No,
it's
that's
so
super
good." I'm
true.
like,
I do
"Oh,
get
yeah, it's
hyped
good,"
for
but, like,
everybody.
I'm
Yeah,
stoked
of
for you.
course.
I'm like, yo,
Right.
that's rad. Like shit.
That's epic. There's
Like,
plenty of
not-
moments
there's
that I've
that-
not been stoked for
Many
people.
times,
Where I've been like,
how many
yeah.
times a year?
It's
get
been
whipped?
3 days stuck in here. See this stoked face?
Hey,
It's not so stoked. No, I'm
go
just
for
kidding.
go for a
You're-
paddle.
you're-
Go for
you're
a paddle.
right.
I haven't seen you go for a paddle.
No, there's reasons for that. I'm
I don't-
such a lazy surfer. I really am.
Me too.
Like,
but
tow me into a wave on my belly. It's fine. It's fine. I'm kidding. But yes, I found over the 20 years of doing surf retail that sometimes there are those challenges where you don't get to surf, but you know there are times where it's your day off and you do get to surf. And
Hell
at the end of
yeah.
the day, I mean, look what we do. You know, yeah, there's tedious things as far as keeping the shop a certain way, and this is retail. It's not just a typical surf shop.
finger spacing.
Right, finger
Finger
spacing.
spacing.
Finger spacing.
It's not a bad word, guys.
No.
It's not what it sounds
Listen,
like.
all you in retail, you know finger spacing, separate things. Listen, you know, we try to make the shop look amazing, impeccable every time people walk in.
You got some big fingers though. I got like little.
little nubs.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you didn't finger space
Yeah.
it.
You're like, have you seen my
Your
fingers?
finger spacing is on another level, Chris.
Listen,
He's like finger space. Ah, it's like,
unlike Trump, I've got big hands.
oh,
Yeah.
That's as political as we'll get. That's as political as we'll get. That's it.
yo,
So
where-
maybe it's not.
What's up with Brad not chiming in?
I,
many?
Brad, you know what?
I'm waiting.
So we're gonna
How
go ahead
many?
and try
How
to
many?
try. We're gonna try to get Brad in here.
We need Brad.
How many people?
We are gonna just see if we can get him chimed up in here. But
Ring on the telephone.
Dude,
There's no one home.
I ain't
Ring
worried.
on the telephone. There's no one home.
well,
That's
Bradley doesn't want to.
it's a good song right now.
Yeah.
It's popular.
Yo,
Is it?
It's an old song.
write it down.
Maybe his Wi-Fi hotspot's not working.
It is possible. He is in Pavones. Let us not forget
He
that.
is
He
in
just
Costa
now
Rica.
got out of the water.
That's also
He
Mo-
just now got out of the water, and
He-
he's thinking about a nice ice cold.
He is a
beer.
wizard.
Or he is beer deep right now.
Beer deep. You see? Exactly.
Beer deep is a thing.
Exactly.
Beer deep. I'm pretty beer deep myself.
What do you mean?
These
This
are
is
mugs.
tea.
This
Hello?
is El Cafe.
This is like coffee.
Del South Beach. Why do I sound like Dracula right there? El Cafe del South Beach. 1, 2.
And this is what I have to deal with. These are the knuckleheads. But you know what? This is the beautiful part. I've been fortunate that over the last almost 20 years in working surf retail that I've been able to kind of hang out with some epic people, kind of learn and grow and build off of them. I'm hoping that the things I get to kind of teach you guys don't just apply to what we have here, but they kind of just apply to other things that you have as far as for work. Eventually, I mean, God willing, I'd love you guys to be here for a long time, but I get it. Yeah, but get it. You might be going off somewhere else, and you know,
I'm just gonna
maybe not
go
coming back from Bali. I don't.
Waco,
We're
Texas.
not gonna leave you just like that.
Just gonna
True.
work.
Dust, bro. Come on.
On the surf park.
We got big things going on
That's
here.
what I'm
I
looking,
need
yeah.
you guys
That's it.
here.
It's over.
We got big.
Going to Waco,
you-
Texas, guys.
Waco.
Surf.
Yeah, surf a lot. more.
No, you've been
Surf park.
Ladies and gentlemen, what the greatest thing of what we have here as far as the surf shop is that we have people that hang off to the side. Currently, there's a friend of ours that is trying to get out of the shop, and it has been quite comical to catch it from the side of my eye of him playing with the lock. Open, close, open, close.
Should I help him out? Should I help him?
I mean,
Should I help him out?
do it.
I mean, he's not gonna figure it out. Oh! Whoa!
And he's gone.
Congrats!
That was epic.
hey, you know that's what happens here when you're in vivo.
That happens to
Things
me like
go
on the daily. I pull up and I'm like, all right, I'm about to come in.
No. It's been bad sometimes. I think when the temperature's almost like
It heats up. The lock expands. No, get out of here.
no.
metal. Yeah, it's 2,000 degrees outside.
Bro, I'm telling
the metal
you,
expanded.
sometimes the
Melting.
thing feels like saltier and
The sand is
colder
now
than other-
glass. No, well, what it is where the lock is at. There's sand at the bottom. You got to clear that thing out.
No, not.
It's this
The
lock right here.
angst,
This
the
lock right
angst of
here.
youth. It's so beautiful.
Yeah,
no,
well-
you guys just don't understand what I'm saying.
No, the alarm went off the other day too.
I wish somebody would just understand me. Kids are so emo.
It's
these
not how I
days.
sound. Okay?
Vladimir, relax, Vladimir.
God.
Yeah.
No, Brad.
God, where are we at on timeage?
Jesus.
Like half an
30 minutes.
Perfect.
Did not think we were going to make it that far.
What?
That's for sure. Yeah, I didn't know.
What are you
how
trying
much-
to say, bro?
Well, I don't know how much
There's
you
What
guys
are you
have
trying to say?
I say
What
a
are
lot.
you trying to say?
There's still more beer there.
Guess we'll just keep going until there's no more beer. Bradley, I'm sorry. We kept this as PG as possible throughout
It's
this
actually
whole
been
process.
pretty good.
Yeah, I will agree.
I think we did pretty well.
Brandon's
so
a
far
well-spoken character.
for- well-spoken 20-year-old. Is that what you're gonna say?
I was gonna say individual, but I switched it to
individual.
character.
He is a character. Well, what? All right. So give me one positive thing that you've gained from this job that you might not have gained in other jobs, or at least opened your eyes to.
Okay, I'll go first. You as a mentor have been.
By the way, I wasn't baiting. For him to
No,
do
he's
this.
not. No. I'm just starting off with that, just because that's honestly how I
because I
feel.
wanna raise.
No. That's honestly how.
I'm kidding.
You know what?
I'm kidding.
All
Look
right.
at this guy.
All
Go on.
right.
Keep going.
So other than that, just the people I've met through working here, and even the smallest kind of connections that I've made with people not from here, or talking about my trip to Bali in the last few months, the past 4 months of me speaking about
Didn't
it.
you just talk to somebody the other day remotely about it, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, you got to go and link up with blah blah blah."
Yeah,
blah,
actually,
blah, blah.
someone on a chairman for the World Surf League.
What?
A
There you
chairman
go.
for WSL was
Was here.
doing a rental with his family
Rad.
and all that. I had one good conversation with the guy.
And look where it went. And he was like, "Hey, if you need some contacts, this and that."
Contacts to go see contests, places to stay, whatever. Whatever.
sounded
it
like
is.
a
Kind of
song.
sick.
Context.
I mean,
And it's not it's not the only time that it's happened though too. Like I've had like 4 other people have a good conversation with me and tell me, "Oh, I know so and so in Bali. Here's my information. If you need help, get in touch with me. Let me know
Bali
what's
boy.
up." Like it's things just kind of just came to me.
Hashtag you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You?
I'm pretty happy about that. Pretty stoked for
So,
sure.
Brandon-
That wouldn't have
Brandon's-
happened to
for
any other
Brandon-
shop.
For Brandon, the contacts that he's made along the way has kind of been pretty epic.
I was gonna ask Brandon, number one, if
Yep.
you could open a calique for me.
Of course.
Cup you.
Oh, hey, we weren't supposed to say the beer, no?
Not unless they're paying us.
Okay, sure. Shim Sham. I definitely have a lot to say about the individuals that we meet here and we get to associate ourselves, and how it crosses over to kind of like my DJing,
Right.
and
True.
and so many connections of how many people that are out here and enjoy the surf with us, and you don't really talk to them. You know, you're out there, you go surf, you come back, same thing. Next day
Right.
you go surf. You might meet 1 or 2 people, but here at the surf shop, you kind of like you get to meet everyone who comes in here.
Right.
Because, you know, if it's a bar wax, if it's a towel, whatever it is that they need to get, you're speaking to them. You're one-on-one with these people. So you get to meet everybody. And then meeting everybody, you start to kind of run into them in my other job, which is DJing in the nightlife scene. And there's so many individuals that I didn't know were in the nightlife scene.
Right.
And from just working, you're just like, oh, hey, they're like, hey, come meet me here, And I'm like, what do you mean? You work? Oh, yeah, you work there. Okay. Holy cow! Like everybody's like connected. It's like the little surfing mafia of the underground.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, whoa, I didn't know this. Kind of like these guys did all this stuff. You don't know the background to
Right.
each person, so it's kind of cool seeing that and seeing them just have an escape from the everyday life, because.
Right.
It is kind of, especially the dance music and what I work in, the DJing, the late nights. Yeah, it's fun and everything, but it's tiring, and you have to actually pace yourself, and you have to have a good head on your shoulders to kind of keep yourself, you know, going.
Sane. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's not sane. It's just keep yourself going. You need to like be healthy.
motivated and-
you can't drink every single day. You
Right.
can't go like you.
Because I'm sure I can't imagine how that's not hard to really kind
Yeah,
of fall
you-
into that rhythm. I'm sure you've
it's
seen
easy.
people
It's easy.
fall into that rhythm of like your nightlife and you're drinking and
Mm-hmm.
you're partying and you're this and that and blah blah blah, and your body can only last
Yeah,
so
that's it.
long.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, you have all these crazy nights, but then you want to go surf, and then the next day you feel like shit and you can't surf. So you have to learn how to balance that, especially when you're surfing. Like
Right.
in that whole process of you doing till 4 a.m, you're working or whatnot, playing music, and that energy is like full blast, and all of a sudden you go home, everything's quiet for a couple hours, and then you gotta wake up. You go to
Just
surf,
a
you're
couple
like,
hours later.
oh, yeah, just a couple hours later, you wake up because let's say the waves are good. I want to wake up, my alarm's on.
Yeah.
I'm the first one to try. Like, you had to go check, and then on top of that, you check it, and then you get skunked.
Which is more times than none.
South Florida life as a surfer.
And that's that nightlife scene too. It was like, damn, you wanted to kind of like not go hard last night because
Yeah.
you want to serve. Oh,
Brad's coming
we
soon.
got a
Oh,
ring
we got
right
word on
the
Brad.
telephone.
Word that
There's someone
Bradley is
home.
going to be joining us towards the tail end of this segment, and I'm kind of excited
Me
because I
too.
figured, you know what, we may not have gotten enough weather, but at least we'll get an update on what's going on in a place that there are waves.
Thank you, Brandon.
Anytime, sir.
But
Anytime. Here.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, there's a couple of individuals who I like to say their names.
Let's
Ricky is amazing.
Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby, mezcal,
Yeah,
illegal
which-
mezcal.
Oh, Ricky.
Ah,
Ricky is
crazy,
awesome
crazy
from Illegal
individual,
Mezcal.
always working the nightlife, and I'm just
Yes.
like what?
Yeah.
You're insane, bro. And then he's out here surfing with us like
Yeah.
all day, like
We got a lot of people like that. You got your Flips, you got your
Paolo.
Paulos.
True. Yep.
God, there's a lot.
Who else?
Paul
Tony.
just got
Tony
back from
G.
Bali.
Tony's always
Ah.
in the mix.
Have you spoken to him about that?
Yeah, he actually hit me up a couple
Yeah,
of days
that's-
ago asking when I was going because I was already.
Because he
into-
wanted to go back. I don't blame him.
Yeah, no, he was like, I wish I was still gonna be here when you were here, of course. But no, he basically hit me up to tell me as soon as you come, let me know. I've got friends and I've got a guide for you. As soon as you're there, let me know.
So, folks, if we're going to go pull a moral from stories, work at your local surf shop. I mean, you're going to have some major contacts. You might not make $1 million, but at least, when you go to Bali, you'll know plenty of people, even if it's your first time.
Is that the way we say it? Bali?
Oh,
Bali.
Bali.
If you're
Son of a
I want to
tomato, salmon, salmon.
I say
I'm saying
salmon.
I have to say it right.
Is your Cuban?
Al salmon.
Hi, salmon.
El salmon está ready.
Sounds like Samoa.
Samoa está ready.
Oh, jeez. But, well, surf retail, working at certain jobs that can kind of let your surfing life kind of continue, whether it's your nightlife and you're doing it so that you can kind of surf throughout the day, or you're doing retail that is surf retail so that you can kind of enjoy those experiences of the people that swing by and those connections that you get to make. Ultimately, when you're a surfer, you try to find different means to accommodate, whether
Flowboarding,
it's
wakeboarding.
skimming,
Part
That's
of your
another
past
of my
jobs.
old jobs right there.
Yep, that's old jobs right there.
Yeah, which is-
Seriously, I mean, like I've had jobs that were like when I was in high school.
I've
I
had a
worked
lot of fun
doing
jobs,
beach
though.
concession and doing like jet ski rentals and taking people
jet
on
ski
Hobie Cat
gentle-
rentals.
We
Jet ski
did.
gentles.
We did the.
Jet ski
We did
gentles?
jet ski rentals
gentles.
together.
What?
Right.
Me and Jovann. Yeah.
Sorry,
for sure.
a little off topic there.
But it's true. But like whatever you can do to kind of either keep you close to the ocean or at least part
Yeah,
of
the
that
jet
vibe.
skiing was rad.
That was fun.
A
That was
year and a
fun.
half of just riding jet skis.
You
and
lasted
doing
a
tours.
lot longer than I did.
Well, I was also like Mr. Extreme.
Yeah,
I'm
this is
gonna
true.
go gnarly.
This is true.
Check
This
out.
is true.
Tail whip.
You were the
I
cool
was-
guy on the jet ski.
I felt cool. Shit.
I mean, and as an outsider, I'm gonna just be an observer and say that maybe it was that you both had the same top knot as far as hair goes,
yeah.
but maybe it was the beard. It was the beard that kind of was just like, dude,
That's
this guy
it.
looks experienced. He's got a
it's
beard.
the beard.
And maybe in a few
Look
years.
at that
You know,
experience.
all you do with
G.O.D..
your facial hair, I don't need
Listen,
it. I don't need it.
I get it. There's plenty of people out there that can't grow their facial hair. If anybody saw what Caleb and God
Yeah, he's
looked
like this.
as they had
he's
before.
rubbing it right now. He's
Yeah,
actually going in
yeah.
on it. Look.
And it's one of those
Yeah.
things where it's not a bad thing to be able to grow facial hair. And if you can, enjoy it, play with it, have some fun.
Here, you get a little twisty.
Yeah. Did a little twisty. I did a little twisty, and then top knots weren't cool anymore. And I'm like, this probably
Hey,
isn't
leave
cool
that
anymore
twisty
either.
alone.
You know what? Let's give Mr. Bradley one extra chance here to give us a buzz. God, were you speaking to him?
He just messaged me and said he's coming soon.
Oh.
Oh! It Yes.
This is pretty
Bradley.
epic.
Do you see the screen behind us?
I can't hear it.
Delay is there. There's
I don't even know.
Oh,
I can't
wait,
hear
hold
him.
on. We gotta-
I can't hear him because he's probably in the speaker.
He's plugged into the speaker.
and he's plugged in.
so-
Can you hear us? Nod, yes.
troubleshooting.
Yes.
Oh, he
All
can
right,
hear us.
He can hear us.
Okay.
Folks, we're going to need you to bear with us. We're troubleshooting. It's not every day that we get high-tech support that we're able to
Yo,
tap into
freshness.
Costa Rica in Pavones. And you know what? It kind of looks like Bradley just took a shower after
He
the
looks
surf
so
session.
happy right now.
It looks like he's just
He
he's
looks-
clean. He's surfed. He's kind of kicking back
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
brew.
You got a brew in hand.
So-
And
Look at him.
Listen,
yo.
you know what? This might be the first subtitled podcast that
Subtitled?
we're gonna have to do over here.
we have the
because I
subtitle.
can't hear him.
I mean, he can translate. God can be a translator. No. Brad is here.
What do we? What are we? What are we having to sip on? Is that lemonade? No, it is.
Wait, we're almost getting you.
In proper fashion,
Right.
it is a beer for sure.
Yes, there I see a koozie,
Yep.
and the koozie says cattle piss.
Cattle piss.
So-
Cattle piss. Great.
Oh no, check the waves.
Check the waves.
Oh,
All
wait,
right.
that's
I like
rad.
it.
It's like
Okay,
thank you
that's
surfing.
proper.
Check
I
the
like that.
waves, bro.
Brad, we are trying to
Rakata.
bring you in vivo. Your art in vivo, if you can see that back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
By the way, don't get mad at my ad libs. I feel like I've been doing the whole night. Like
Bradley, wait till you hear this. See and hear.
Yeah,
this
no
thing
bad
on
words
Saturday. Oh,
for
man.
you.
But we tried the best that we could. We were waiting for you as far as forecast goes.
Zoom, zoom.
But I went ahead and I chimed in with my surfline forecast, which was bringing us a little southeast wind swell starting to build Saturday evening, and then possibly seeing some surf in that 2 foot range from about Sunday through Tuesday. And with your nod of approval, I will be assuming that I was correct. Sounds about right. I can read lips. Oh my God. You know what, folks? I could probably just go ahead and do the read lip version of this.
It's all good. The forecast is
Here
okay.
is okay.
Right
good.
on. Big thumbs
No.
up.
Do you hear him now?
No, but
He said it's gonna be about.
is it? Oh, way overhead. Is it maybe that?
Oh, maybe it's sending the TV instead of sending the
Oh, it's on TV. Rad.
Can we hear you now?
Hey, I can hear you. I can hear you.
I'm talking.
Yeah,
Yo.
you are.
Let me see if I plug this back in. Maybe it takes it.
Yo.
Off. He comes back.
Can you hear?
Do we hear him now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Troubleshooting.
That's
one.
amazing.
Yeah, this is amazing, folks. We are not high tech. We are
Tenfold.
kind of high tech. I mean, we are just MacGyvering with gum and duct tape here.
Yeah.
But with
This whole thing out.
There's.
you know, Bradley, it almost is like you're right here with us.
I mean, I rode your board today.
So I lent Bradley my 5/8 Bonzer biscuit from Channel Islands,
Hold up.
and I told him it would be fun. Last time I rode it that was fun was in Costa Rica, and so apparently he co-signs on it.
So fun.
Is it?
It's so.
How
You
big?
get so much drive off every pump. I mean, you just fly through sections.
That's what she said.
How how big are the waves?
It's like head high to overhead.
Conditions, wind, as far as that goes. Are there?
Glassy all morning, and then a little bit light, like side shore through midday, and then the wind came up maybe like 10 miles an hour in the evening, and I mean, it's still
10 miles an hour.
Rad.
Wow.
Rad, Brad.
Crowd factor.
Yeah, you know, they're all here, but it's doable.
They're all here.
Dun, dun, dun.
Still a bunch of sections. Sit up at the point, down by the river mouth.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't sell me right now.
The river mouth hasn't really pushed all the way through yet with the rain, so it's kind of like 2 sections almost, like top of the point and then bottom or something.
Right.
I'm no expert here, but that's the way it kind of seems to me.
I'm no expert here, but I'm having fun.
I did. I mean, I got like some really long ones today. Multiple turns, leg burners.
Leg burners.
So.
Oh, those sound nice right now.
All right,
I'm
so
pretty happy.
aside the 5.8 Bonzer, what other board you bring?
I only wrote the Bonzer. I mean, I brought my C-shapes 511, and I also brought a 6.6 because it's supposed to get much bigger, but I don't know. We'll see.
What's up? Best wave?
What's up?
Best wave?
Best wave I got today was like 200 or 300 yards and probably like 8 turns.
What?
Oh,
Sounds horrible.
sounds awful.
You should come back.
All right, can we get a description here? Can we get a vivid
You should come
description?
back. It'll be maybe 2 feet in a couple days.
Can we get a Miami
I also
Dreamers?
Oh my god.
Thank you, surfing.
So while we have you in vivo, anything you want to attach to the forecast and or what it is that we spoke about, just currently in regards to just local winds and small kind surf from Sunday till Tuesday.
Well, I mean, I was looking at some of the long-term stuff, some of the stuff that Chiggy from Debo.com has been posting, and we do get this like opportunity again for another low to come off the coast next week. So it's kind of a funky one. Not necessarily a swell maker for us, but anytime a low comes off the coast there, things get a little interesting for us. And I'm guessing that southeast wind, I mean, I haven't really looked at it to be honest. That wind swell they're talking about is probably like due to an oncoming sort of cold front situation. So it's kind of crazy. We're still like almost in a wintertime pattern. We haven't really broke into spring yet.
Goes into that yesterday. What was it? The day before?
Nobody's
yesterday? Was it a little
complaining
chill?
about that.
Yeah, and
Nobody's
well, the
complaining.
people up in the Northeast are. They're like,
Well,
and the Plain
Jersey
States,
got a
they're
rad
just like,
swell.
we're over it.
Nobody.
Jersey got a
here is
6.
Last week was gorgeous weather in Miami.
Yeah.
It was super dry. Wasn't that hot.
Right. Well, you didn't
we even
leave.
got, like, a
You didn't leave until what?
festival.
Yesterday.
It's like a time warp. I left on Wednesday.
By the
What's today?
way,
Thursday,
by
yeah.
the way, I'm so
Wednesday.
jelly. I'm jelly
left
right
on
now.
Wednesday. What's
I'm
today?
jelly.
It's like Bradley,
I've been
you're in Costa
surfing
Rica,
all
not
day. I
Bali.
can't remember.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden, it's like, what? Did I just travel 20 some odd hours? What year am I in?
Yeah.
I
But
love
that
how-
drive definitely makes you kind of forget where you are and what
I was just gonna
decade
say,
it is.
I love surf trips and vacations because they definitely.
Yeah,
do.
like
You're
your
just like,
your background.
who
right now.
cares?
Look at his background.
Yeah,
it
I
just
know.
feels like a
Like
surf
old school
trip.
Tico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
honestly.
feels like a surf trip.
All that wood that I'm seeing out there,
Yeah.
that wooden door, it looks
Uh-oh,
proper.
Yeah, let's get a little scene, a
Oh,
little
you guys
scenery.
want to click around?
Yeah, hell
It
yeah.
looks proper, man.
That's what you got. Where's
Oh.
Gonzo?
Oh, look at this. Yo, this is full.
Is that a hammock? That's a hammock next to a ping pong table. What the hell?
We got
where-
foosball tape.
Let's get a little shout out. Where are you staying at down there?
So we're staying at a place called the Ponderosa. Place is super cool.
Dude, is that Brian? Is that Brian and
Look at
Marshall?
it. Yeah.
Dude, I stayed at that place in 96 or 98 when it was like raw.
No
Super
way.
raw. Those guys had just moved there, or whoever's the older brother had moved there maybe 10 years prior.
Oh.
Gonzo! Folks, that's not Brian or Marshall. But that's so crazy at Ponderosa. I stayed there almost like, wow, and I almost
didn't know he was
freaking
staying
almost
there?
No, almost 20 years ago. And that was probably the last time I was in Pavones, was 20 years ago.
Wow. dude.
Special guest.
That's
That's so
pretty
sick.
crazy.
I only said it because I saw the ping pong table in the main house, and back then there was just maybe 4 cabinas that were 2 stories, and then he had the central house, and it was pretty cool. Like there was nothing else. It was just at the point was the cantina, and then it was him.
I
And
hear him
then
right now. Let me see if I can bring him in real quick.
oh, that would be
What?
unreal. I don't know if he'd remember me, but that was like way back.
That's
in
like
Let me see.
connecting strangers. Like,
fuck 20 years ago.
but on top of that, you're through the internet. Like, what is this? This is the future.
Internet's what-
Like, what the hell's going on here? Like, we're in the future. You're connecting like this old memory to a present memory that you're about to happen.
You're
right
being
now.
thrown back
I
right
might
now,
be getting
bro.
teary-eyed right now.
Oh my god. Oh my
Bring
god.
on the kratom.
I couldn't find him. I thought I heard him for a second, but
You're hearing
yeah, man. We
things,
were supposed to stay somewhere else, and things got a little messed up with our reservation, so we wound up here. But
Okay.
worked out
But it's dope.
super good. Oh yeah, man, it's sick. It's right on the spot.
Yeah,
it's like,
super close.
Did you guys get some shots as well?
Nah, man. Miguel's all shots. I got it all from memory bank.
That's good. That's good. That's what you need.
How long are you there for?
We're only here until like Sunday, and then we're gonna go back up and probably stay at Backyard Bar up in Hermosa.
Only Sunday.
Only Sunday.
And then backyard bar.
We only have 3 days of perfect surf left, before we
Sucks.
move to another location.
It does. You
Can't
guys
surf
don't want.
before we get onto a plane to come home.
Yeah, well, this one's gonna drop on Sunday, so it's time to go home. I mean, look, we work really hard, and you plan hard to do stuff like this, and so
That's
man,
awesome.
it feels like you put in the hard miles to do it,
Yeah.
and so like
Yeah,
when you
I
get
haven't
waves
had-
like this, you're like, man, I kind of feel like I almost deserve that wave.
Yep.
I like drove 8 hours. I worked my ass off for the last like 4 months. I
What?
planned everything out the last couple of weeks, and you deserve it. And it doesn't work today even. I was sitting here like.
Of course you did.
When was the last
doing,
trip?
Like some work, and it's all good, man.
When was the
You can
last
do it
trip?
now.
When was the last trip that you had?
I was in Costa Rica in. Hey, Marshall, come over here. I got someone over here on the screen.
Snap.
Here in 96.
go.
We're doing a
I feel like moving it
podcast
down.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
want
I
to
haven't
snap
seen him in such a
though?
long time. and I'm
Cooking
like,
on the
oh,
grill. Okay, just say hello real quick. This guy. Hello, how you doing, man? Remember this guy from
Marshall.
1996?
How's it like
What's up?
I stayed there at your place back in like 96 or 98, way back when, where you guys there wasn't anybody else but you. And I remember because you guys were like North Florida guys, and we were like South Beach, Miami Beach kind of guys, and we came down to Pavones on a whim. It was myself and a buddy of mine, and we found your place, and it was pretty epic. I think you had like 4 2-story cabinas and the central house.
Yeah.
And it was pretty epic because you would just go to the central house because that's the only place that you would be able to watch any video or play ping pong or have your food cooked.
Sorry, you guys. You're gonna burn all
Yeah, go for it. But that was,
Marshall's gonna burn our chicken. I got it.
don't burn this chicken.
No.
He's cooking for you? And you got somebody cooking for you too?
That's service.
Yeah,
Well,
man. He's
Well-
super stoked, man.
that's pretty
Yeah,
funny.
so we got some pollo on the grill over here.
Well, it's a true testament to how small the surf community is, whether it's
Yeah.
a couple months
then,
or a couple years.
We have got some other South Beach locals who happened to be sitting at the table next to us at dinner last night.
No way.
rad.
So they're staying here as well, actually.
Do we
And,
know? Do we
so-
know said locals?
Yeah, we got Flora here, and Mateo's like sort of South Beach local. He's like splits his time between Fort Pierce and South Beach when it's good. Smart guy.
Sick.
Yeah, so they're at dinner last night, and I was like, "What the?" So that's cool.
Yeah,
So,
you
on the
have
road
those
today,
moments
so
like
with
when
them
you're
tomorrow.
traveling.
Yeah.
Wait till you get to Bali.
Oh, no, for sure.
Bali, whatever you want to call
Bali,
it.
Bali.
Man, I can't believe it. It's
Bali.
a great trip.
It's going to be unreal. We were kind of discussing these guys and coming into the whole surf retail and discussing it as a job and one of the many different jobs that surfers have. And nonetheless, that Brandon, for the first time going out of the country, he's doing so and going to Bali. So his first trip is kind of pretty epic.
Yeah, now that we got this whole thing figured out, we might have to bring it in live from Bali.
Oh, no, for sure. For sure.
that-
For sure.
In the
For
hot
sure.
seat,
I'm
live.
super down for that.
Talks to
Yeah.
him.
But it's pretty epic. The connections that
Foreign correspondence.
that you draw, that you will travel to anywhere and you will still see people that you either know, seen, or have some sort of connection to through somebody else
Yeah.
that you might know. Like it's only
Yeah.
like 1 or 2 degrees of separation.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
when he
Like
live streams, he's not like full of reef cuts.
Oh.
Rub it, kook.
Don't wish that on me, bro. Come
I
on.
don't. I'm just saying.
That's the one thing I'm like, I know it's gonna happen, but I'm not looking forward to it.
Just the bottom of your toe, a little
Just
snub on the bottom of your
maybe-
toe, and you're gonna go. Oh.
Nah, I'm gonna get
That's
it on
it.
my back. I'm calling it now. I already.
No, dude, don't call that. Just get
already-
it on your toes like every normal human being.
or like Brad on the last big swell here at South, that forehead.
I already.
Foreheads.
I'm not gonna forget that one. That sandburn.
I already spoke to
Oh
Brad.
my
I already
God.
spoke to Brad
That's
about
like
doing
taking-
something while I'm out there.
I mean,
for sure.
The compact sand is pretty gnar.
Oh,
Like,
for sure. Okay, when this.
Just
yeah,
saying.
This is true.
I mean,
This is
it
true.
does
I
hurt
love
people.
a gray beachy, but
It hurts.
It hurts.
It hurts. It hurts.
I love it.
But it doesn't hurt as much as a reef.
no,
No, definitely not.
Well, listen, I found
Fall
it's-
like a pancake. That's what I've heard.
right, like turtle.
What?
And at the end of the day, usually it's when it's smaller is when you get hurt more.
Really?
Yeah. When it's bigger, you don't get it. There's a lot more water when it's bigger, so you don't have to
Ah.
worry as much. But it's usually when it's small that you're kind of going for gusto and there's not as much
know
water.
That.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
fun facts that you reach around here. Reach around.
Whoa.
God, there are all just weird things happening right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say something else, but I had
Oh
to stop myself because I didn't want them to do like. Yeah.
This is weird.
Reach
Bradley,
around.
we've been having fun here. We are now reaching that 45-minute factor.
45 minutes?
Yeah, not so shabby with a couple green guys over here.
That was only 10 minutes? No, I'm just kidding.
You know, I've led the charge today, which normally you do, and I get to be your sidekick.
I approve. I approve. He's a great host.
He's not
know,
not half bad. Not
I
half
try.
bad.
I try. You know,
I
I'm a
mean-
character.
I mean, I can't wait to watch this whole episode.
I can wait. God. Oh, so by the way, we've now labeled Caleb God.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that it's one of those things. Since he's going to be the off-screen
so-
voice.
so we need
that way. I think it's just funny. Like all of a sudden, you're like, God,
Chime in, please.
God.
Oh, my microphone's
Does any?
broken.
I know his microphone's broken. His microphone's broken. So we're gonna fix that for next week because I think next week's show is gonna be pretty sick. They're gonna be pretty amped
Yeah.
on it.
Where am I going next week?
Yeah. Next week you're gonna be back here,
Okay.
but
You're
next
gonna
week,
be right back here in the hot seat, Brad.
Next week, we're going to go ahead and chime in with a couple of local surf chicks that we've had here for quite some time that moved here and there that will kind of tell us what surfing was like in the 90s for them.
Oh,
and
speaking of which, you know who was out surfing today?
Lisa
Ripping
Anderson.
Holly Beck.
Holly Beck. Wow.
She has a surf camp down there.
Does she?
Yeah, dude.
She has a surf
That's what I
camp down
hear. She was here with like her. I saw her after the surf too. She was with her kids and her husband
Rad.
or whatever, and dude, ripping.
Yeah.
Oh
Of
my
course.
gosh.
Yeah. Holly
Like,
Beck rips.
just huge smile on her face and just coming around the corner and just ripping the top
She'll
off
be
every
coming
wave.
around the corner when she comes.
I mean, does it at that point, do you just like maybe I should just like grab a longboard or a boogie board or.
Oh, saw a boogie boarder getting some sick ones. Even longboarders, yeah.
Sick.
So sick.
Did you get some on the boogie
There's,
board?
there's a lot of fun. A lot of fun to be had.
So yes, next week when you're back, we're gonna have a pretty fun cast. You know, we're gonna have a little insight from what it was like to surf as a chick back in the '90s, as well locally as well as in general, and we get to talk about the challenges that they've had through that process, as well as where they're at now, and what that's like. So
Did you mention to him about movie nights?
Oh, I mentioned about we were doing movie
Okay,
nights.
cool.
We'll be doing movie
Oh,
nights.
I got a weekly happening for you.
All right,
I
let's go.
got, you know those mugs that you guys have right there?
Oh snap!
These mugs?
Yeah, I got like a whole bunch of those inbound to my office.
Oh,
You know what's
snap.
beautiful about me, besides this, is that I've already said that. I already started like I can't.
That's it.
I'm
Boom,
like
boom.
your, I'm like your hype man.
Oh.
Zoom,
I was
zoom,
just
and the
like,
boom,
I'm like
boom.
ThankYouSurfing.com.
That's how we do.
I was wait till you see this. I was just like
Zoom,
merchandise,
zoom,
galore.
and the boom,
merchandise,
boom.
merchandise. We got you.
I love.
We got you.
Yeah, look,
All
still
right.
sipping.
Just, can we close it? Can I close it now?
We
We're
saved
gonna
you
Yeah,
work.
wrap this
you
thing
can-
up.
you
can
We
wrap
saved
it up.
Let
Work.
Bradley close this thing. We're gonna wrap it.
It's a go.
Bradley, Gonzo, take us home.
Live from the end of the road in Costa Rica at a wave that you wish you were surfing. I'm Russell from ThankYouSurfing. This is my buddy Miguel. We're really happy we came. And thanks for watching episode
16.
15?
You said 15.
I said 15.
15.
15.
15.
15.
I can't believe this works. Super awesome.
Rad.
Big shout out to Caleb.
Good job, man.
Shout out to all you guys.
AKA God.
Definitely shreddicating a couple waves for you guys tomorrow.
Do it. Yeah, Brad.
I'll be
Alright.
there in the spirit, bro.
Ladies
See you guys.
and gentlemen,
Yeah.
thank you
Adios.
for sticking with us. ThankYouSurfing.com. Check us on YouTube. Good night.
Later. Peace out, boys.
Rakata.
Rakata.